What is going on, folks? I know you want to hear me say it's the True Vapor Show, but it's not. It's not another vape show. Is another vape show. 124.5 because we're doing the half show from last week. I don't even know what I'm saying. Who gives a damn? Hey, I'm covering for Mark tonight. They're down in Florida doing their thing, so it's going to be me, Addie, and Heavy taking care of your needs this evening. So with that being said, take it away, Andrew.
All right. Well, thanks for throwing it my way. We'll do another 2-hour show after we did a 3-hour show last night, which it did. You know what? After I thought about it, I was like, man, it didn't even feel like not even close to 3 hours.
I know.
Time flies when you're bullshitting with your buddies.
That's true.
So, buffets. What do we got? Okay. Dreamer with the Apocalypse. This is my go-to mix setup right now. In that, we'll get to that later. Basilisk with the Lucid RDA. I'm loving that guy right there. I took ST's advice, and I didn't even tell him this, so y'all are going to hear it for the first time, just like he is. I'm running the Iconic in Squonk mode on top of the what is this thing? The Pulse BF. And I got to say, it actually performs really, really well. And then this little setup has changed my mind about single coil. The SQ with the B2K Caviar Edition from BB Vapors. I've been rocking the hell out of that. I switched it up to the black button, black drip tip stainless cap. And all of those little jewels or those little diamonds in the rough, as you want to, whatever you want to call them. I got some Jam Monster strawberry. I have got some loaded glazed donuts. And I got some Camelot Red Label and some of that old Paradigm, Paradigm, Nillakilla. So that's what I've got. Why don't you go ahead and take it away there, Atomizer?
I think that's me.
Yes.
What's up, guys? Let's see here. I have got the blue Punisher SQ with the icon on top. In there, I have got Twang from Paradigm, the Minikin V2 with the drop. In there, I have got this right here, that pistachio from Hit That Cookie. The SX Mini Q Class with the Eris tank from Anakin. In there, I have Disco Java from Duck Pond / Omegeddon. The Boss with the Reload, it is empty because I'm going to re-wick it here in a second, and I am not completely sure of what I'm going to put in there. And then I have the Basilisk with an RDA that I can't show you, and in there is Nillakilla from Paradigm. I am in love with that. I think I could drink that stuff. But yeah, that's all I got. ST, what's going on, brother?
That is good stuff, definitely. It seems like everybody that gets their hands at least on the Nillakilla is like falls in love with it. But,
yeah.
All right, what am I vaping on? Well, tonight, Andrew, which he says I turned him on to that. Well, he turned me on to this. My B2K showed up last night, so while the show was going, I put a build on it. I'm also running that stainless cap, but I got my little clear action going on there, my little frosted stuff. So
yeah, that's a good looking setup.
Got that rolling. Also running the Pulse with the icon. Love that setup right there. And last but not least, I broke out my Basilisk. Again, it's pretty good to break out. And this is not a matchy thing, but it's just what I threw it on. But I got that new Nudge RDA from Tofo and Suck My Mod. This thing is going to be somewhat of a game changer right here, folks. Wait and see what I say about that. So with all that, I'm doing some Boston Cream, some of my favorite donut juice right there. Also running, I got raspberry custard, but I've misplaced the bottle, but Royal, so don't look at the bottom part. Just know that I'm vaping Royal raspberry custard. And last but not least, oh crap, I'm not prepared. Oh, there it is. I'm doing me some root beer float from Camelot. That's also good stuff right there. I've just about wore that stuff out.
Yeah, buddy.
So that's all I'm working with right now. So yeah, tonight we are covering for some of the members that weren't able to make it because they're down in Florida and Orlando at a Christmas parade right now doing their thing. I think the Christmas parade is actually going as we speak. So if your kids are watching this at the Christmas parade, be on the lookout for Mark. Don't let your kids get near them.
Do not throw snacks in his area.
No, he gets very volatile when you throw snacks his way. So
I got a quick question for you guys. That RDA, that single coil RDA that you guys have on the SQ, did that come USPS or DHL?
USPS.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's
dude,
pretty crazy. Or atomizer right there.
Yeah, this thing is something else, dude. I've never, and I told Eddie this when I got it, like I've never been a single coil guy. Like I didn't think I would like it as much as I actually do. But man, this thing gets fucking rowdy to be a little guy like that.
Yes. It's
Eddie's gonna love this one. I'm gonna venture to say he'll like this one more than he likes the nudge.
I'm hoping it'll be here tomorrow. Fingers crossed.
It is definitely good because I'm same as Andrew. I'm not a single coil guy at all, but I think the only way I could enjoy this one is exactly what it's set up for: squonking, and on a little mechanical squonk box. I think this is about the best way this one's going to perform for me. But yeah, typically, I guess I'd have to say this: even if all of us in this group had it and I didn't, and it was like, man, you got to go out and get it, I probably would not do it.
Yeah, you'd be like, nah, not for me.
It's just not my thing. But having it in my hands, I'm like, wow, it's good stuff. So
I will say this: the package that should be in, I know even if I don't like that RDA, there will be something in there that I will like because I'm going to be getting Nada for the first time in that package.
Oh.
So
definitely that stuff right there.
I'm really excited about that. Oh, I got to show you guys this. This should have been in my buffet. This is probably what will end up in the reload when I rewick it. I picked some of this stuff up. You guys remember this?
Experiment 1 from Telios?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was I went to a shop and they had some stuff that they were running on sale, and I saw this and I was like, this is like the corn cereal or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, I got to get my hands on that.
Nice. Somebody was asking a question: where can I get the Boston cream? Just read that title.
Headjuice.com.
Yeah, real good place. Actually, I did a quick video the other day. I don't know if y'all want to go check that out at some point in time, but yeah, good stuff right there if you're a donut lover. I put that video up, and then somebody left a comment like, kind of saying no knock against Mike's Juice, but have you tried such and such? I don't even remember what the name of it was now. And I said, dude, if you like donut, that's the way you need to go. And it's like, well, no, I haven't tried it. I need to get my hands on that because I'm always up for suggestions. If somebody's got one that thinks it's better than the other, I'm willing to try it, unless it's just some that the other guys have had and they're like, eh.
Yeah.
Because there's a few of us in the bunch that kind of have the same taste buds, I guess, to a lot of juices. So I know, like, and it's really a lot of the guys on our group, if they like it, typically I like it if it's in my flavor profile. But if they're like, ugh, I'm kind of like, okay, probably one I need to steer clear of. But
oh yeah, somebody just said Dave Kent said he just bought Vanilla Killer from Paradigm. If you go over to paradigmdistro.com and use coupon code HEAVY15, capital H, HEAVY15, all one word, it's 15% off. So you can try some Vanilla Killer a little bit cheaper. Definitely
good stuff. Another one. So I was sent the line of that, and after reading all the titles, well, I got the card with it too, and that was about the only one out of the bunch that was like, okay, that's kind of in my, well, not kind of, that was definitely in my profile.
Mm-hmm.
When I tried it, first thing I did was text Mark to say, hey, did you get the line too? And he's like, yeah, I've got it. And I said, dude, you need to try Nilla Killer right now. I said, you'll definitely like it. And then I guess after Mark hears it, he'll kind of spread the word on, and that started, it was like, wow, everybody seemed to definitely like that one. But I think,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, I know Mike's pretty big on the twang, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was just about to talk about, because I was going to say when I got them, I mean, obviously I had heard from you guys that Nilla Killa was the best one in the bunch. So I took the other ones, and when I get a new juice, I'll put like a little bit on my finger on my knuckle and taste it. And the what are these two here? The Deja Vu and the Wicked Berry are not really within my flavor profile. And I saw the twang, because I don't do candies and I don't really like the sour stuff. I was like, probably steer away from that. And it's because, like, I love Sour Patch Kids, like the candy. But the e-liquids that I've tried, it's always just been too much of the sour in there, and it kind of just kills everything off in there. And I tried that twang on my finger, and I was like, that was okay. You know, don't really feel one way or another. And then we were live one night, me and Heavy and Mike, and Mike was talking about it. And I took it and I dripped it on something that I had, and I tasted it. And I was like, wow, this is actually really good. And I've been using it quite a bit ever since. I still don't think it's like within my flavor profile, but I do think it's a nice change of pace, and it is what it is. The sour is not overbearing, and it tastes exactly how you want it to taste for a sour candy or sour, gummy candy or whatever.
yeah.
So I was also impressed with that one, even though it's not what would normally be in my wheelhouse.
It's definitely good stuff though. I mean, and like we talked about on our review video of it, the flavors that are not in my profile, I can still pick up enough to say that if you like those particular flavors, they're spot on.
Yeah.
It's just something that it's just something I don't vape. So,
Yeah.
And so it's a good place. I gotta give a big shout out to Scott Zegans for for them getting us set up on that. So
speaking of Zegans, obviously he's doing some stuff for them. If you go to Paradigm Distro on Instagram, Zegans has been working hard on their Instagram page. They just passed 1,000 followers. If you don't follow them on Instagram, go over there now and give them a follow. And also, because they hit 1,000 followers yesterday, Scott has put up a giveaway for Paradigm. So go check that out on Instagram. You can enter the giveaway. All the rules are up, but make sure you give them a follow.
Nice. Yeah, Zegans is definitely a
that is a promoting son of a bitch, dude.
He is that, but I'll tell you this, he's a hard worker in the industry, especially when it comes to e-liquid and stuff like that. He's always, most of the time, everything he has got my way, I've pretty much fallen in love with, only other than a few things. And we kind of talked about it one time. I was like, dude, you got to talk about my flavor profile, because he was kind of big on sending me a lot of fruit things, and it was like, ooh, a lot of that I don't even mess with, dude. So,
yeah.
But
holy shit!
What?
You know what I just found?
What?
I was looking through my thing over here, and I just found a fucking 30 ml bottle of Speakeasy from Prohibition.
There you go.
That's one company I definitely would like to try. What in the hell? Why do I got a spot on my freaking nose? I'm seeing it. Maybe that's just the light doing that.
Real quick, Heavy, the owner of Paradigm, what's his name? It's slipping my mind.
Bill Wickstrom.
Bill. Never met Bill. Had never talked to. Well, they have never talked to Bill. Don't really know if I'd ever heard of him before. But first of all, congratulations on the grandchild. And I also want to tell you guys the coupon code that they put up for Heavy was based on the live show that we did Wednesday night. And Zegan said, yeah, we'll get that set up. and then we couldn't get it up that night because he was actually at the hospital because his grandchild was being born, and he comes home in the next day and the coupon code's up. Like, that would have been the last thing on my mind trying to get done based on the circumstances that he was going through. So I thought that was pretty cool as well.
This is not a 15 mil bottle, just so everybody knows it is a 30 mil.
I'm saying that. I'll tell you I'll tell you one of the best line that Zegan's hooked me up on, and pretty much most of the other guys too, when the Cloud Chemist came in.
Are you trying to stir up drama between me and Zegans right now?
Eddie's been waiting on a package for fucking Cloud Chemist for a minute.
Dude, when that one came, and honestly, hold on. I don't have one handy. I got that collection way back in the day, and this is when it was still in the little white 30 mil bottles. And tried it, and I was like, man, this stuff is good, you know. And the other guys were just like, whatever, hadn't never even heard of it. And then it was resent to me again, and it was like, holy crap. And other guys started finally trying it, and it was like, man, that is like the stuff right there. I guess you got your answer there, Eddie. So
I as much as I love Scott and like to believe Scott, I'm not holding my breath on this one, because if I would have done that, I would have been dead. So
he would have been dead months ago.
I have to say, though, I've had a lot of serial vapes in my vaping journey, and by far, Cloud Chemist, there's still nobody that's beat them. I got to say it. It's just too good. As to your ass, better give away a BOS and chat tonight. All right, there is a special thing going on. Because I've taken time, shut up, Nick. Since I'm taking time out to host Mark's show tonight, I think Mark's going to have to do like an extra giveaway next week, because obviously he could provide a nice BOS for y'all. So remind him of that, and I know he'll uphold that.
Yeah, he'll take care of it.
Yeah,
we think.
He's probably at the parade watching this right now, not even paying attention and cussing me out. So
I got a couple of dead Amazon AA batteries that I popped out of my mouse before the show. We can give that away.
That'll work.
Yep. And an empty Powerade bottle.
Hold on. What is this? Rest in peace, Eagles playoff chances. What's that mean? Did the Eagles just lose at the last minute?
No, he said Wentz might have a torn ACL.
Oh, okay. I didn't keep. Wow. Isn't that always their cursor? Get towards the end, having a good schedule, and then something crazy happens.
Yep. Who's their backup? I don't even know who their backup is.
I know it was. Oh, God damn it. What's his name?
Maybe the brain McNabb. What? No, who was it that used to play for them?
Are you talking about Sam Bradford?
No.
Well, I thought Heavy was talking about Sam Bradford.
No, who was the black quarterback that Philadelphia used to have? Played with him forever.
McNabb.
Yeah,
it wasn't
McNabb.
Yeah. Maybe they'll get McNabb back. So anyway, there you go.
I was gonna say who? Michael Vick?
Yeah, really.
I don't think he's coming back.
Let's see. Their backup quarterback's Nick Foles. I didn't realize he was back in Philly. How about that? Well, I will say this. Nick Foles is capable. So, but I believe that Carson Wentz was what was driving that team. So I don't think they get as far, but he is capable.
They'll be handing that ball off quite a bit. It is what it is. I mean, he's played a decent amount, though.
Randall Cunningham. They'll bring Randall Cunningham's ass back.
Wow. All right. Yeah, I know Mark's probably screaming but rightfully so. I might have used partially his name, but this is not technically his show right here tonight. He can have it when he gets back.
Yeah, he can get the fuck over it. Somebody asked how I was liking the Lucid RDA, and this thing, man, I've never been a fan of vertical coils, but I've said it 100 times. I think this thing is fucking smashing, man. This is a good RDA. I'm not mad at it at all. It's got some quirks. It's got some things I don't like about it, but it, you know, by all accounts, right now the fucking pros far outweigh the cons.
Somebody else was saying, awesome show last night. I appreciate that. Yeah, we kind of did just ramble on forever. I didn't realize that we had gone, 3 hours last night or so.
Yeah.
But it was, after we did it and we got off here, I got to thinking, I can't remember a show where it's just been me and you that's done a show like that.
I don't think we ever have.
I don't think so either. And as long as we've been doing this, that was kind of like, huh? So I don't know.
I had to go to bed early last night, so I couldn't join you guys. But I thoroughly enjoy those like hanging out shows like that, where there's no structure or concern about anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's all it was just us sitting around bullshitting.
Yeah.
Well, and it worked out too, because when I got in yesterday evening, I had just checked my mail and this B2K came in. So Andrew already had time to play with his a little bit, and I was building mine. So did you ever recheck their site, see if it's still just 3 remaining?
Let's do a live check right now, because somebody was asking where to get the what do you call that stuff? The Nada e-liquid, and you can get it at HazetownVapes.com.
Or you can get it from Hit That Juice.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike's the only one in the U.S. that sells it. Or at least he was here a couple weeks ago.
ST, guess how many are still in stock?
3.
3.
Yeah, I think that's a bogus number.
Yeah, I think their website's bullshitting.
Yeah.
It may be lying to you.
Hell yeah.
Like, oh shit, there's only 3 in stock. Fuck, I better get one.
Yeah.
But I mean, what'd the conversion rate come out to? Like $58 and some change?
Exactly.
So, yeah, it says 75 Canadian, but bear in mind it is Canadian. So, whatever it's up there, like little aluminum pennies or whatever it is.
Yeah, so if you're somebody that's on the squonk scene, and even if you're a dual coiler, you don't be brainwashed, or at least I'm trying to tell you not to be brainwashed, because again, if it hadn't been sent to me and all these guys were just ranting and raving day after day, I still would do it.
Yeah.
Because I would think, it's whatever. It's not my thing. But man, after I got it, I was kind of like, wow, that's nice.
STM, what ohm are you running in? What ohms are you running in there on that single coil? Or what coil are you running?
I forget which one. It's a Coilology. I'm trying to remember which one.
Triple core fused Clapton.
No, actually, I went with, because I
remember you said you have.
I didn't want to run the
No, multi-strand fused Clapton's what you didn't want to run.
No, I didn't want to run the tricore. It was a multi-strand that I ran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Is it below 0.2? No.
No, actually, I put an extra wrap on it. Heavy told me to put a wrap on that.
Yeah.
And when I built it, it came in at like a 0.3 or a 0.4 or something like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what mine's at right now.
Yeah, Heavy said his was above 0.2 and it was performing crazy on the Mac mod. So I assumed he was lying to me. That's why I asked you what you were running.
Yeah, actually, I think this thing was coming in like at a 0.45 or something.
Really?
And look at this.
Yeah, mine's at a 0.24.
Is it? And it's warm?
It's warm.
Dude. It's warm. It's dense. It's fucking
man, I can't wait. You guys are making me jealous.
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
You guys are making me jealous.
ST, I have to cut out in a bit. I always want to put. Oh, well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Will there be one for this show? Yes, right?
Yes. There will be one for this show.
Replays and nicotine.
Again, if I didn't say this at the first, I appreciate everybody for showing up for this. I know typically you'd be watching Mark's deal, but since they are gone, All right, we were talking about this, and I don't even know if I mentioned it, but it's pretty damn funny. So if y'all are a part of the lounge or the vape team on Facebook, I can't remember which one they posted it on, but Mark is on the carousel at Disney, sitting next to Brian, and I think it's Mike videotaping it. And there is like a bunch of 2- and 3-year-old kids, and this thing is massive. And it's like kids all over. And then you just see Brian and Mark mixed in there, and it is so funny. Because Mark looked like he's holding on for dear life. Because
he looked like he was scared to death.
Yes, it is freaking hilarious. So y'all have to go check that out.
To Mark's defense, he had just got off the teacup ride, so
yeah,
he was a little scarred.
Dude, he's been. I'm certain right now he's so wore out. He's probably wanting to get to the house because they've been there all freaking days.
He ain't wore out. He got a scooter.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you want to bet he tried to get a fucking scooter?
I'm willing to bet he got one.
I don't know
if he got one.
I don't know. But I know, well, I've never been to Disney, so I don't know if you walk in at the door and they got scooters available, but I'm certain his eye was looking for one.
His good eye?
Yep. And if they did have them, he was probably trying his damnedest to get a hold of one, but.
Yo, motherfucker, you don't know who I am?
He wanted the scooter, and then everybody supported it because they get to skip the line.
Yeah. Marcus probably on his way home. You know what? If Angela wasn't there, he'd have probably been back at home. He never would have won if she.
Oh hell there. Yeah! If she wasn't there, he'd have never. He would. He'd still be at the house.
We'd be on his channel right now.
Yeah, hiding in his little cubby hole.
Yep. All right, Alex. Talk at you later there. Damn, folks are being polite in here going, well, I'm about to cut out. You ain't got to be that polite to me. So what other good stuff is going on? Oh, well, one good thing happened to me today because what's pretty sharp is that DHL doesn't normally deliver on Sundays. They did today. They had to get this one to me, so I've got my second icon, and I have to say,
you're just now getting the icon?
No. That's the one that barely.
You said icon. That's the point.
Oh, icon. I'm sorry. Iconic. I'm so used to saying the icon. Lord. So I got this one. Now, the one thing about this one, look at that drip tip.
Oh, that's sexy.
Nice.
I do like that color on there, so that's pretty sharp. So I'm guessing that most of, I guess a lot of people are going to start, I guess the reviewer-wise are going to start getting them either today and tomorrow. I think Andrews is about to show up. So there will be a video coming on this one very shortly.
That one's mine.
I'm thinking it's at around the first of the year or just a little after that there actually will be in people's hands. So, and that's really not too far off. So, man, a lot of good RDAs out there, dude.
Yep. RDAs and nicotine.
Yep.
Hell yeah. There's a lot of good RTAs out there too.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely one when it comes to my mind, but there are some good ones out there. So,
yeah, just keep on blowing that triple dick.
Yep. I love it. You know what, though? See what, and I don't even care what is said. Again, this one is going to be a game changer right here. And
you like it that much?
I really do. It's surprising. I guess why it's because it hit me out of the blue.
Yeah.
I got to work with, even though none of my say went into the drop, but I got to sit there and watch the progression of it, which was cool. And, was able to vape on it and all that. Of course, with the Iconic, I've listened to Mike deal with some of it, but Mike's got his thing going there. But again, I've got to try it. It's awesome. But this one, you know, other than just receiving an email the other day, I didn't even know that this thing was coming until I got the email.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard anything about it. But now, and didn't realize I was going to get it this fast. But wow. It's, if you do enjoy a lot of airflow on something, that's what I've got to say. I've been sitting here talking about how smooth and how good it vapes, but two, you got to be a person that likes a decent amount of airflow. If you're somebody that likes to turn your stuff down, I don't know if it's going to quite be as much as what I'm enjoying out of full airflow. But see, like I said, I enjoy full airflow on things. The only thing I can't stand full airflow on is the freaking Apex.
Woo-hoo.
And anybody that likes full airflow on that is like, must be a vacuum cleaner or some shit. I don't know.
You're insane. Because that fucking, dude, that Apex is too much air.
Yeah. Because again, you know, even on the Iconic, you can turn it down somewhat, but it's full blast, just like on the drop. I like it full blast on the drop. So, do you like yours cut down, Addy, on your drop?
Yeah. I will say this. I like it cut down. I keep the whole row closed, the whole top row, and then I go back and forth between all 6 of the bottom ones open and 5 of the bottom ones open. I go back and forth depending on the coils, the wattage, and the drip tip that I'm using. But it's not bad wide open. Like if it didn't have adjustable airflow, if it was just what it is, I would not be upset. As far as RDAs go that have like larger amounts of air, not this obviously doesn't have as much as the Apex or something, but for something that's got wide open airflow like that, this is the best performing RDA that I've used flavor wise with the airflow wide open. So I would be, if it didn't have adjustable airflow, I'd be sitting here saying, I wish I could turn it down, but I still really enjoy it and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. Somebody was asking, I guess
Too much airflow is the Rebel AFC cap wide open. That's ridiculous. Trust me when I tell you, the Apex has it beat. I think the only dripper I have ever used that has more airflow than the Apex is the Phenotype L. I think that's the only one I have ever used that has more. And that's saying a lot because the Phenotype was literally like, it was like breathing through it.
Yeah, the Phenotype was ridiculous.
I have to say this. Of anything I've got in this house, that's got the most airflow on it. I can't think of anything else that has. It's like
Did you ever use the Phenotype?
No, I didn't. But this one is ridiculously too much. I do know that.
Oh yeah.
Somebody was asking us. I'm gonna pin myself. Again, I'll show you the different colored one. That is the red nudge. That is with Suck My Mod and Watofo. So they do offer like about 6 or 7 different colors, and you get these pretty badass drip tips with them. There you go.
When I first saw a picture of the top cap, I was like, wow, those look really good. And then when I saw the deck, I was like, I've got to get my hands on that. So I'm just hoping, like, I know that you guys like it wide open. I'm just hoping that I can turn it down and it's not like loud or turbulent or anything like that when I turn it down.
Yeah,
but, I mean, who knows? I may like it wide open.
I did turn mine down and try it, and it's still, it's not loud.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I'm not achieving what I'm going after. So
Right.
Again, it might be good for you to where I just, again, you know, with it being wide open, it's perfect the way it's set up. So
yeah, I was looking around here earlier trying to figure out the very few things that I run wide open. The Reload RTA I run wide open, and I think that's about it, honestly. I couldn't think of anything else when I was looking.
So that is, yes, it is a dual. And yes, my cotton's starting to get a little crazy, but I've been running some pretty sweet stuff through it. So yeah. It's easy to build on, but I will say this. And I even talked to Matt already about it. Just kind of congratulating him, saying, hey, I liked it and everything like that. But I told him, I said, my first build I put in it, it was just a hair challenging for me because my hands are fairly large. And it took me a minute to get things in place the way I wanted them. But after I had it built, I was like, okay, now I got my system down with it to where it's not a basic, you know, like a goon or a velocity style, which you can just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You know, this one, you got to get a little bit of a technique, I think, with it real fast. Because it is a little bit of tight quarters on it.
Yeah.
So you just, you know, but again, it wasn't bad at all.
How big of a coil do you have in there? 3 millimeter?
3 millimeter. So 3 millimeter is perfect. Hold on.
Somebody asked, better Squonk RDA, drop or dead rabbit? Addy, you and I both have the drop, and you and I both have the dead rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think?
I'm going to say the drop because I like the drop more. The dead rabbit is a really good RDA, but for me personally, I can't. When you ask the question, which is a better squonking RDA, I can't really differentiate the two because I just look at performance and which is the better performing RDA. And I think that the drop is better. Some people may say that I'm biased, whatever. But I prefer the drop under any circumstances. But don't get me wrong. I think you should buy a drop and you should also buy a dead rabbit because I think that the dead rabbit's really good. So I'm not throwing any shade or anything.
I think personally.
Well, tell me what you think the difference is. Like when somebody says squonking RDA.
So what I think of is how much juice you can squonk into it without overloading the airflow or without any kind of defamation of flavor, right?
Okay. All right.
So those are the main criteria. And if we're looking at it as a versus kind of thing, you can squonk more juice into the dead rabbit because it has top airflow.
Yes.
Right. But the airflow is wide open. The dead rabbit does not have enough airflow for me personally. It has really good airflow and it's smooth and it has really good flavor. But as an all around, if you look at how much room that those posts take up inside the RDA, and then you take that into account with how little space the posts on the drop take up inside the deck, the amount of juice you can squonk into it is a fucking wash. You know, because you can only squonk so much up in there before it starts sucking it back down. I would say just because, and this is only because of the amount of airflow, I have to give it to the drop. With that being said, I think the flavor on both is about equal. There's no huge noticeable difference. For me, what it boils down to is I can get more airflow. It's one of those things. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And that's the problem I run into with the dead rabbit is it doesn't have enough airflow for me. I just wish it had a little bit more.
See, I turned the dead rabbit down, so I obviously don't feel the same way. If we're talking about like when you say squonking RDA, if you're talking about like juice capacity and how much you can squonk and stuff, I actually was just looking at this the other day. I see what they were doing with the rabbit so that when you squonk it, it goes out to where the wicks are. What I was finding with mine, though, and I don't have the squonk pin in it to show you right now, but what I was finding with mine is when I was squonking it, I was getting more juice like in between the posts, moving up the post rather than coming out because of how thick the juice was. I mean, it wasn't like it was having a problem keeping up or anything, but that was something that I wanted to look at. And when the build I have in there now, when I take that build out, I'm going to mess around with it a little bit more. But so in that particular case, I don't really know that it matters a whole lot. I just felt like when I was squonking with the drop, it was wicking a little bit more efficiently, which is why I looked at the rabbit, but it may have been the way that I wicked it. So that's why when I take the coils out, I want to use it. But right now I don't have the rabbit in squonk mode, but I actually just took it out of squonk mode yesterday. And I have been using it as a squonker and I have not run into any problems either. So I think when you look at those and you say the prices for both of them are in that $30 to $35 range, if you got one and you like it, get the other one. If you don't have either of them and you can only get one of them, I'm going to say get the drop, because when you talk about it being a quote-unquote squonking RDA, they both squonk and they both do it well. Performance-wise, as far as I'm concerned, I like the drop a little bit more. But if somebody said that they liked the dead rabbit more, I wouldn't say that they were wrong or, you're crazy, you're not doing it right or what. Like I can see it both ways. So
yeah,
I think they both perform well.
I totally agree. I think, dude, right now, honest to God, my 1, 2, 3 drippers of 2017 are number 1, the drop, number 2, the dead rabbit, number 3, there's about a half a dozen others that could fill that number 3 spot. I personally, I think the drop edges it out just for me having that extra airflow.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Fat
Damn,
Man. I know. Fat Man Farah. Thanks for the donation. He said, you guys going to try the new Kennedy Ruby 2700?
I'd love to.
No. And I'll tell you why. Because the Ruby, to me, is not my jam, right? I don't like... Now, Roundhouse, yes, I'm all for trying the Roundhouse because it gives you other RDA options. I love the Kennedy. I like that it comes with a 2-post Kennedy built onto it, but for me, I would rather have something that I can interchange if I wanted to. So no on that. If you love the Kennedy to the point where like you could see yourself having one integrated into a tube mod, then by all means go for it. But I have too much. I like too much variety.
Yeah. I wouldn't spend that kind of money on it when I can't put a different dripper on it.
Zagan says we're forgetting the Sherman RDA. As much as I enjoyed that one, there's just better stuff right now.
I've never used the Sherman, and I've never used the Apocalypse. But I mean, my 1, 2, 3 are the drop, the Icon, and the dead rabbit. And the dead rabbit is in like a tie with the Pulse 24. But I like those could not be separated by any less of a margin. Like I'm still using the Icon. I used it today. I use it every day. And so for that reason, it kind of stands the test of time for me. I've had the drop longer than I've had the dead rabbit, even though the rabbit has been out longer. I've had the drop longer than I've had the rabbit. But so for me, that's where those are, but they could not be separated by any less of a margin. So, and they could be equally swapped out, and I would not be upset about it. So,
of all the RDAs I got right now in my possession, doesn't matter when they came out, but out of all the ones I have in my possession as we speak, my 5 best of the bunch would be the Iconic, the Goon 1.5, the Drop. What is that, 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The Nudge. The Nudge would definitely be in there now.
That's up.
Yes. And my Titanium War of Vapes Armageddon. That right there. I love that one.
You're making me really excited for that Nudge the more you talk about it.
Well, and again, it's me. I really am enjoying this thing. Everybody else might get it and go, what the hell are you thinking? But all that matters is what I feel about it, because I'm the one vaping on it. So
I haven't used the Bonza either. I want to try that.
yeah, I don't have a Bonza. I need to build my Aura and try that one. I have yet to do that. I could be sitting here missing something. So
Yeah,
I need to get build on that one.
Yeah, somebody. Go ahead, Eddie.
I'm a big fan of the Aura. If I did a top 5, and then that way the drop isn't tied in there for that, or not the drop, the Pulse 24 isn't tied in there for that last spot, the Aura is in my top 5. Like, and when I name those are all RDAs that I use on a daily basis. Like a day has not gone by since I got the Icon where I did not use the Icon. The only time that it may have happened is if I went out of town and I didn't take that much with me, but I don't think that happened. And the Aura would be in there too. So my top 5 are things that I use every day, and for that reason, I wouldn't trade any of them for anything outside of that.
Yep.
Yeah, I only said 3. If we're going top 5, the Aura lives somewhere in there, whether it be between, and that's another one that could step from, that could fill that third spot, or and that's what makes all of this so tough, is like the amount of product that I like. I've got to say, and I don't think either one of you have messed with it, but one of my favorite of 2017 is the fucking Cheetah 2. Like, that fucking RDA is brilliant, man. That thing it does what it says it's going to do. It looks good in the process. It's easy to build on. It has really good flavor. It has really good airflow. What else do you need? You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's half a dozen RDAs that you could put between 3 and 5, and I personally wouldn't have a problem with it. But not even the order of it.
There was one that I've always wanted to try that I still at some point, I just haven't got around to getting it yet. The Druga.
Yeah, the Druga's in there. I love the Druga.
That's one that I definitely got to get my hands on. I don't know, man. Some of this stuff they're putting out's been hard to put it back down.
I will agree. As to, you definitely need to get a Druga, and I just think that, and the Iconic, if that gets put in with the 2017, I don't have one yet, so I don't know how that'll change things. But this was a great year for RDAs.
Oh yeah,
and in addition to that, like you're saying, that the Nudge is way up there for you, and I think that just goes to show that as vaping kind of evolves, stuff is just getting better and better and better, where the little things that you would say, why can't you just get this right? Those are things that we're not concerned with anymore. And so you really, and the price points are going down. You really can't lose. Like those 5 RDAs that I named, I would say you can't lose with any of those RDAs. And I just think that it just continues to move in a direction where there's going to be a point where the established companies that you know of, they're not going to put out a bad RDA. You're just going to have to decide what you like best or what you want.
You know what excites me more about all this is that the quality of what you're getting nowadays at the price tag you're getting it for used to be, it seemed like you had to spend a whole lot of money to get something pretty decent. Now it's like you don't have to spend that kind of money anymore, and you're getting an awesome product still. So,
dude, I'll put it to you this way: if the Drop, the Dead Rabbit, the Aura, and the Pulse 24, we'll just use those 4 as an example, and we'll throw the Iconic in there too because this thing has fantastic build quality. If any of those 5 RDAs had came out 2 years ago, you would have paid $100 for them.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yep. And it doesn't matter if they were manufactured in the States or in China. With that amount of like the quality of machining, the tolerances on everything, it's like, dude, this is the perfect time to have, you know, all of this stuff come out, and it's amazing. 2 years ago, it would have cost you $100 a piece. Now you're looking at fucking 30.
People were standing in line essentially to pay over $100 for a Velocity, and then when the original Goon came out, and we first saw pictures of the deck, we were like, "Oh my goodness, that looks crazy!" And then they said it was going to be $70, and we were like, "It's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer." And now, with the RDAs that are coming out, like the Goon 1.5 comes out, that's at the higher range of what you would pay for an RDA because there's so many great performing RDAs at half the price. So, I mean, that is a huge deal. And so for people that are coming into vaping or have come into vaping within the last like year and a half, they don't understand it, but that's why I have 3 icons, and I gave a 4th one that I bought to Johnny Drips. And that's why I am going to have multiple drops. That's why I have 2, maybe 3 Drugas. Because when you talk about these RDAs, I was willing to pay $110 for a Velocity. So when the drop comes out and I love it, I'm willing to buy 2 of them, and it's still cheaper. Or buy 3 of them. Like this is just the way it goes. And then you have them to match all these different things, and you can with the way the mods are going, like with the Squonkers coming available and all that kind of stuff, you can have one set up for Squonk mode. You can have one built for a tube mech, and you can have one built for a regulated device. Like that's the beautiful thing. But if you came into vaping within the past year, you may not see the benefit in that, and so you only buy one of them, and that's fine. But to go where we are now from where we came from, it's just such a better place. And so the people that come in now don't realize, number one, they don't realize how good they got it, and you sound like, you know, your grandfather telling you how great you have it. But they don't realize what it used to be like, and you just knew that if you wanted something that was great, you were going to have to pay for it. And now you can get things that are great that you don't have to pay for to that extent. So,
I will say this. I'm sorry, Andrew.
Go ahead.
One company this year, and I know we've spoken about it, but I have to say this. One company this year that literally killed it, regardless if you like them or not, regardless of what your opinions are, they killed it this year. Vandy Vape.
yeah.
They literally killed it because I got to say everything that they've put out, other than one product, two. Well,
in my opinion, 2.
You know what? I am going to go with you because I was very disappointed with one of them. All right. I haven't even used that Pegasus, Perseus, whatever the hell it is, just because y'all said it sucks. Everybody said it sucks. I just didn't fool with it. The one I'm very disappointed in, when I got my Kylan, I loved it, but it leaked. And there was an issue with them, and it was never handled. So it's just never got used again, which shit happens. But other than that, for everything that I did get from Vandy Vape, pretty much killed it. I don't always use it, I don't always use it, but it's definitely good stuff.
Yeah.
I was going to say, back to Eddie's point, when the Velocity came out, I heard about it on a podcast that I used to listen to at work all the time. And on this particular podcast, it's Dino, who is one of the creators of the Velocity. He was one of the designers. He was talking about, him and Cisco had this new project coming out. It was called the Velocity, and, it was going to change the game, and it had a unique build deck and unique airflow and this, that, and the other. And it got me thinking, I need to go find one. I need to find one, find out how much it is, and then pick one up, because, they back then, 3 or 4 years ago, is what Mike and Mark and Brian and me and ST are now. They were the people that I listened to on a daily basis, and I took their advice on shit. If they said something was garbage, I didn't even bother with it. But if and for Dino to say something like that, I immediately went to Avid Vapor, and that's the only place you could get the authentic Velocities, and they were $115, $120. So like that kind of fell in line with, the Roughneck was out at that time. The Kennedy had just came out. So the tugboats and stuff like that, we had this $100 price point that was kind of, set. And for something like that came with all the extras and all that kind of shit, it seemed like a good deal. Well, I went over there, and on the podcast, Dino said they're going to release 50 units a week. Every Sunday at midnight, they will release the 50 for the next week. And while they're shipping out the 50 they sold on Sunday or Monday or that week, they would be machining and testing and quality controlling the next 50 that it would go up the following Sunday. I followed that website for 6 months straight, and I was going to buy one, and I could not catch them in stock. And I would check it 12:05 my time, which I didn't realize they're in New York, so it was going up at 11 o'clock. I could not buy one. I wanted one, and I could not buy it.
Yep.
And they were making them 50 pieces at a time, and that's all they were making, and that's how they sold them. So still to this day, if I could find an authentic Velocity version 1, I'd probably still pay $100 for it.
Yeah. And it's happened with everything too, right? Like e-liquid. E-liquid was $20, $22 for a 30 mil. And if you wanted to get 100 mils of juice for less than $50 or less than $40, you had to go to a site and buy e-liquid that wasn't that good, or wasn't good at all for that matter. And now you can get great e-liquid. You can get 100, 120 mil bottles for $20 and $25. So this is the way it goes.
Well, somebody else just brought up too that, like Squonkers now, like some of the ones we get that are at a cheaper price back in the day, these things probably would have been a lot more expensive. So,
yep. Well, and even when they started to make their comeback, they were all above $100. And now if you looked at that and said, I don't know that I want to spend $100 or more because I don't know if I'm going to like it, the Vandy Vape Squonker from Tony B is a great device for $40. For the price point, it is a great device. It's got a great bottle. It does 2700s and 18650s. And then you get it and you like it. And even Tony has said this, that you get something like that. And if you decide that you like it, then you go out and you spend more money on something like an SQ. And you know what you're getting yourself into a little bit more. But I mean, back then we were buying, the only way to know if you liked a particular style of dripper that you hadn't messed with before, that was a really expensive dripper, was to go buy the clone and mess around with it, tool around with it a little bit, vape on it and say, okay, this may not be exactly what the Authentic's like, but I think I know enough about the Authentic to determine if that's something that I want to buy or not. And that was really the only way to do it. And I feel like the lower price points now on stuff like Tony's Squonk Box will allow you to do that, or maybe you get it and you say, hey, this is sufficient for me.
Yeah.
I don't need to spend $200 on another Squonker. You know, these whatever the things are, they don't. There's nothing there for me.
You know,
Well,
you know,
when me and Addie were in Foxwoods, that was the first time we ever met.
Yep.
They had these Velocity version 2s that came out, and that was what, two years ago now. So even 2 years ago, if you wanted something that was that quality, that was that hard to I was fixing to spend $125 on one.
I was too.
Yeah, and I asked the guy if I bought. I think they had 2 or 3 of them left, and I was like, "Well, if I just buy all of them, how much are you going to take off?" He was like, $5 a piece. Like, I don't understand it. But like,
we were going to buy 2 of them, and he wouldn't give you anything off.
Yeah,
because he told you 125, and I said, "Well, like you and I walked away, and I said I'll buy 1 too. Ask him if you buy 2 of them, how much he'll sell them to you for." And you went back over, and he said they're 125 a piece. You said, "Okay, what if I buy 2?" And he said 250.
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm getting at. Like, even the American made stuff, the American made Squonkers, the American made drippers, they're all coming down in price because you can get such good quality out of China for fucking nothing.
yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with regulating the price. Whereas, 2 years ago, you could charge $125 for a dripper because it was special.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see somebody do a spreadsheet and show every new RDA, RTA, sub-ohm tank, regulated device, unregulated, pretty much everything, not juices, but just devices and atomizers that came out in 2017. People would probably be astonished to see how much product actually came out this year. And there's been so much to come out that people would probably, they lose track. They'd be like, no, that came out year before last. No, it actually came out this year. Because there's been a whole lot of stuff to come out. And then to go through and check off what you like and you didn't like,
Well, and also you had, we saw a huge surge in sister companies, like Vandy Vape. They didn't exist last year.
Exactly.
Coil Master wasn't making quality products like they make now, other than their coiling kits and stuff like that. I don't know if Asylum, the guys who made the Sherman, I don't even know if they were around last year.
I can't remember because the Sherman RTA, wasn't it pretty new when we were in Detroit last time?
Yeah, I think that was 17.
Yeah. So a lot of good stuff came out.
I mean, that one, though, technically was the version 2, so I don't know when the version 1 came out.
I think the version 2 came out very, very shortly after the version 1 came out.
Okay.
Yeah, because,
Vandy Vape broke off of Geek Vape.
Geek Vape, yeah. Somebody else said Geek Vape killed it this year, too. They did. Yeah. They put out a lot of cool stuff this year.
Between Geek Vape, Digiflavor, and Vandy Vape, all 3 of those are offshoots, or the other 2, Digiflavor and Vandy Vape, are offshoots of Geek Vape.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if you look at the parent company, Geek Vape fucking slaughtered it.
Well, and then you had Centaurian that fell off with Tofo.
Yeah.
So, and they still kind of on the fence on a little bit of it, but they have been doing some good stuff. But all these companies have been, I think every company out there has put out at least one something, atomizer, device, whatever, something that's caught somebody's eye that was been pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
If it was just a one-hit wonder with it, they probably had it. So,
even A-liter.
yep.
Yeah, a little funky 160.
Yep. Still don't know the wattage to that one, but we'll get there sooner or later.
I think it's like 40 watts, something.
Somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
So any questions out there? Any questions? Put them in caps for us.
Yeah, and I'm just putting this out there. If anybody wants to pick up an authentic Velocity and send it over my way for Christmas, I would that would be awesome. Like, I'm just saying. I don't expect it, but I mean, if you wanted to, I'm not going to turn it down.
Yeah, I mean, we're sitting here forgetting about iJoy and Joytech. They also they've done a lot.
Dude, I think Joytech probably has the best starter kit of 2017 right here. That guy, the little Exceed box. I think this is the best starter kit of 2017.
It really makes me wonder what's in store for 2018. Because this year, wow, this year was like a really killer year for things.
Speaking of Christmas,
no telling, dude.
Speaking of Christmas, get your friends a Tattoos and Nicotine shirt, or a Beards and Nicotine shirt, or a MacMods and Nicotine shirt as a great Christmas gift.
Or High Heels and Nicotine.
There you go.
Have you actually showed off anything yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
we did it on a live stream the other night.
Okay.
Where can they be found at, Eddie?
You could go to Etsy, and you could search for it. If you just put in, I think we tested it the other night. If you just put in Beards and Nicotine in the search bar, it'll show you all 4 of the shirts that we currently have. Black Bag Apparel is the name of the company, if you see that. And they are all up there.
Vlad is not playing this weekend again. Actually, I will tell the story. I think I told a little bit the other day, but it's completely out to the public. So if y'all didn't know, which if y'all didn't, y'all got to be living under a rock. Mark officially hit his 100,000 subscribers, and Brian and Mike were feeling kind of bad for him because he had gotten very upset over it. And they said, "What can we do, little buddy, to make things better?" And Mark, being as weird as Mark is, he says, "I want to go to Disneyland."
Yeah, he cried first, though.
He cried, so they made it happen. It was kind of ridiculous to see because we were all in the room when it happened. But after they finally got him calmed down, they said, "Look, we'll hook you up on a trip to Disneyland or Disney World, wherever the hell they're at." And that's what happened. That's where he is. So, thank you, J-Dub.
Hey, you know what? There's I'm looking right now. There's 407 people watching.
Yep.
And we might be able to pull this off if there's a couple of people watching with troll accounts. Could we get everyone watching the show to go over and unsubscribe from Mark and see if we can knock him down to 99,000? Just long enough for me to take a screenshot on my phone to send it to him and be like, "Bro, I don't know what this 100K is about, but looks like you're still sitting at 99,000.
I have no part of this.
Oh, what's his count at? He's probably well past that though by now.
No, he's only at 100,413. So there's 407 people watching. So theoretically, we can make it happen.
Wow, that would be pretty crazy, right there.
Oh my God! Do you know how bad of a fucking heart attack?
Yeah, he would be literally. He'd either be at the hospital there, or he'd be getting on a plane headed home just like that. No questions asked. And he wouldn't even know if he would remember to bring his wife and child back with him.
That would be so fucking hilarious, dude.
You guys might get some really special content from him in an effort for him to get it back over 100,000. You might get a video that is just the wildest stuff you could imagine out there.
Dude, that's mean. I know it is. But it's hilarious as well.
I would like to say again, I have no part in this whatsoever.
People are listening because he's now down to 100,407.
Oh
So
my gosh.
He's dropped like 7 subs just since I
Oh
said
my
that.
gosh. You better remember though, he might play that evil trick on you.
Yeah, that's true.
If he does try to do it to Heavy, everyone should know that Heavy does not care near as much as Mark does.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh my God. Could you imagine the heart attack? He'd be like, oh, you took that 2 days before and it's steadily going down.
Yeah, that would definitely be your heart attack nicotine shirt right there.
Yeah.
That would be a picture of him holding this stuff. Yeah.
Losing subs and nicotine.
Oh God.
I don't think we'll get him down, but
let's see what else is happening. Oh my gosh. Heavy.
What?
You're gonna have a trend started. Oh my God! Look at these folks unsubbed.
he's at 100,398.
if this works,
It doesn't seem that it would do it that quick though, because real time doesn't. Oh gosh, yeah, I gotta say that
he's at. I just searched his name and he's at 100,102.
you're right. There's no way.
100,397.
When I put Vaping Fagan in the search box on YouTube, it pulls up and it says his channel and it says 100,102.
Oh my gosh.
Tell Brittany we can hear her.
Yeah, Addie said, go get a shower, Olivia.
Whoop somebody's ass.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Look, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm on Social Blade and it's just dropping like crazy.
I was just pulling up Social Blades.
389. We can do it, guys. We can do it.
Look, this is Heavy's deal, but I'm telling y'all have got to put it right back in after he gets his little screenshot.
Yeah, just as long as I can get a screenshot of him under 100,000.
Even if it doesn't make it down there, make sure you click your button back.
Oh my God. This is going to be so good. He's
Holy
going to
crap.
have a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, because his number's dropping like crazy right now.
When he flips out, make sure y'all report to him that ST and I had no part of this whatsoever.
Bullshit. Y'all are enabling it.
I got his live subscriber count up on my external monitor here. He just dropped down to 376.
Heavy, you are a cruels.
372.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, guys. Let's keep it going though. I'm sorry, but I'm not that sorry enough. Like, I just think it would be so funny.
366. The social, because I have the live counter up, the Social Blade has a chart where it fell way off, and so it was at the bottom, and every time more people fall off, the bottom goes further down, so it can drop off further. 360.
Wow. Goodness gracious.
Yep, no part of this whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I wholeheartedly disagree and think that you should all go back and follow him, but that's more about covering myself.
Y'all need to stop, man. You're making me feel bad about doing something that I think is fucking hilarious.
No, you might find it funny, but you're going to give him a heart attack.
Well,
I don't know how much after the 100 he's keeping up with it now.
oh, he'll keep up with it once I send him a screenshot.
Oh, somebody just subbed back.
But hey, you got to remember, he's constantly getting subs too. So a lot of
Yeah.
people aren't even watching this show. Or
That's true.
still,
All right, people, go back and subscribe to him. There's no way we'll hit it. Not at that rate.
Yeah, we won't hit it. It's at 358 right now.
But it will show it will show on Social Blade that he took a hard dive, but to the tune of about 100 subscribers.
Yeah, everybody, make sure you hit your stuff.
Yeah, if you, yeah,
There
no,
it goes. There it goes.
if he fell below 100,000, he'd be trying to get online down at Disney on his phone so he could buy subscribers back to get over 100,000.
All right, it's going back up.
Yeah, it's going up.
Yeah, click that number. Keep clicking.
I don't even remember what he was originally at.
407, you said,
Okay.
or 4,
Yeah, so you had him drop by about almost 50 subs.
or maybe it was there were 407 Yeah, there were 407 watching, and he was at like 412.
Now he's about to be right back. He's already at 381. Come on, keep clicking your buttons.
It's 385 on mine.
Keep clicking them.
387.
He'll be fine. There's going to be a handful of people that go, oh yeah, I meant to unsubscribe from him permanently, and I forgot. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, you really got to be on board to kind of have that one pulled off right there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to mess with them. Oh yeah, he's almost back at it now.
If we had the full audience for a typical Not Another Vape show, that like 700, 800 people, we could have done it. It would have worked.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get him to 500K.
If I had any connections at YouTube whatsoever, I would get his play button messed up on the plaque. Get it written wrong or something. Especially if we could get him a plaque that instead of saying Vape and Fagan, it said the Vapor Chronicles and had it sent to him.
That would be funny.
Oh my God. Or get it to say Mark Vapes.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. All right, he's almost back. Okay. Even use your troll accounts. Go ahead and use those to resub them back.
Yeah, y'all need to resub with your troll accounts and shit.
You can buy YouTube buttons. Yes, you can. You can go on Amazon and buy them. Mark was shopping them.
Can you get names, like custom names put on them?
I don't exactly know. I just know that Mark said he went on there looking at it and said that they actually.
No, it's like replica buttons.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't know the difference if we ordered one and had a different name put on it and then sent it to him and put the return address as YouTube's address.
That would be pretty good.
I'll have it say the Dead Rabbit or Dead Rabbit Vapor. Wow. That would. Wow, this adult dating site's really hitting me pretty hard tonight.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to make a point there.
I got ST's IP address saved from all the times he's been on their site.
I guess so. I know. I see Greg keeps hooking them up, so appreciate that. All right, he's just about back at his point.
Yeah, $34.99 for a custom YouTube play button.
I might buy one just to hang it on the wall here.
Tom said he's got one on the way.
That would be amazing.
You just want a silver play button that says Mark Vapes on it.
Somebody says an indoor smoker. Ron said he had one. Indoor smoker had one made for $500K. Why?
I don't know.
Well, hold on. There's a. What is it? A silver? Is it just a silver and a gold button, or was there a different
No,
one?
there's silver for 100,000.
Okay.
There is gold for 1 million, and then for 10 million there is a diamond.
Diamond. Okay.
And the diamond play button doesn't come on a plaque; it comes as an actual, like a standalone piece.
Yeah, it comes in a little suitcase.
Gotcha. Well, they ought to back up and reverse a little bit and do maybe like a platinum one or something like that.
Yeah, for 5 million, do a platinum button.
Yeah, something different. Oh, what is up, Mr. Mooch?
Mr. Mooch.
Mr. Mooch. Just checking. Okay.
Checking the store.
No. I know what that is already. I seen somebody flash it up there. Somebody said it's 14-0 right now, which the biggest fun part about those games is that it doesn't matter who you're messing off a team, how bad they're busted up. Those games are normally decided by 3 points, win or lose.
Yeah.
It never fails. Shout out from New York, ST. What is up, Mr. Michael Rayburn?
I will say I'm not a Steelers fan, but Malcolm Mitchell last week in his press conference, or the little conversation he had with the media after the game in the locker room, really made me feel like I like that guy a lot.
Stolen valor and nicotine is what Tom wants his shirt to say.
Not a bad idea.
We need his to say Furley and nicotine.
Yeah. I need something crazy. Oh yeah.
Question in chat. If you had $50 to spend on vape gear, what would you buy?
A full setup?
I don't know. He said vape gear, so I'm just assuming.
Or
if I had $50 to buy, if it's got to be vape gear or vape related, I buy some juice. Because there ain't much gear you're gonna get with $50. Not for.
I don't know. For $50, I don't. I think you know what I would do. I would go pre-order an Iconic.
If you wanted like if you didn't have a mod, so you wanted mod Atomizer, you can go to
that Pulse BF kit.
Yeah, I just looked it up. There's in the States you can't get it for less than $50, but some of the Chinese sites have it for less than $50. So $50, I would go to one of those Chinese sites and buy that Pulse BF kit with the 24.
Yeah, I don't know where my mind was thinking of that. Yeah, if for $50 or less, a lot of nice RDAs you can get your hands on. As of devices, I don't know, dude. There's just so many of them. You'd have to go. If I had a list and the prices next to it in front of where my eyes could physically see things, I could probably give you my suggestions of what I would choose and what I wouldn't. But every time somebody just throws up to say, hey, what would you do? I just think of all the shit I've been dealing with.
Okay. How about $150 full setup with juice? I'm going to take this one first.
Take it away.
I would say get you a Pulse mod, a drop RDA, a pair of 2700 batteries, and a bottle of Camelot Black Label.
You're going to need a charger too, though, right?
Well, I mean,
when he says full setup, I'm not even thinking of batteries.
Yeah. Again, our opinions on what.
Well, I mean, you can get a cheap 2-bay for fucking $15 online. So
true.
If you just wanted a full setup, no charger included. Oh, and a set of, he said, don't forget coils. A set of clean AF triple 28 38 aliens.
Let's see, for $150, complete setup. I don't know if I could pull it in at that. I really don't. Because as much as I like Squonking, if my choice had to be 150 and that was all I was going to use, I still would probably resort back over to something regulated.
Yeah. If that was it, I would too. I would say mine would be actually this right here, a Minikin V2 with a drop. And juice wise, I mean, I could really go any direction with this.
And a set of VTC 5As.
Yeah, as far as juice goes, it would probably either be cornbread pudding, any of the Hit That cookies, or I would just go over and buy one of these 120s of Disco Java from Omegeddon for $25. So, but the setup would be the Minikin and the drop.
Yeah. I might even say this. I would do the Minikin because I like it, and that would keep it in a decent price range. Unless, now I'll change that. If I could have the difference between these two, and I'd have to check on the price to make sure, I'd actually get the V-Boy. See, I'm going to go a different route. V-Boy, triple, BTC 5As, and Boston Cream. I don't know if that'd bring me in that area, but I'd probably be damn close. Actually, I probably would be in at it. Whatever money I'd had left, I'd invest it all into Boston Cream. So if I could get at least 2 bottles out of it, I would. V-Boy is $68. Yeah, I could pull all that in.
See, with what you were saying previously about that being the only setup, I couldn't get a tank. I'd have to have a dripper. I just couldn't do a tank.
And I'm just the opposite. As much as I love dripping, I'm going to be an RTA guy before I'm going to be the dripper.
In my entire collection, as far as I'm concerned, at any one point, I just need one really good RTA, and that is the Reload for me. If I've got some other good ones that I like using, I mean, I'll run the Siren and I'll run the Aris tank and stuff like that. But if I were having to start from scratch, I'll get there eventually. But I really only need one really good tank, and if I had to choose one or the other, it's going to be a dripper.
Seagans was asking if I like the root beer. I guess that will answer that because it's almost gone.
ST, does it taste like root beer from a can or from a bottle?
It tastes like it's from a can and it's kind of fizzy.
Yeah.
Is that what they used to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott doesn't. He's like, what the hell are they talking about? It's one of those inside things. I tell you what's good to run in an RTA, and I don't know if y'all have done this or not, but the Paradigm, that one's awesome in an RTA.
The Nilla?
The Nilla, yes.
See, I think that the Nilla is way better in a dripper. Like I think it's good in a tank, but I get so much more out of it in a dripper, and I don't feel that way about very many juices. I'll pretty much run anything in either that I like, but for some reason I like it a lot more in a dripper, and I don't know what it is. It just is for me.
What were you doing, sub-ohm or an RTA?
RTA.
What RTA was you using? Your Reload?
Reload, yep.
Well, see, I was using, of course, my trusty triple, and it does provide you a whole different flavor experience.
So
that's why I enjoy it so much out of that.
A lot more coil in there.
Yep.
And you're probably running at a higher wattage too. That's the thing for me is that Nilla does better at higher wattages. And I run my Reload in temp control at like 75 watts, where when I put it in the drop, it's being run at least 90 watts.
Tom says, interesting. I heard the GTRs had a bad batch and maybe wasn't all the V1s. But that is true, Tom. And Tom, we'll just act like you didn't know that. But, yeah. For folks that are wondering about the V-Boys, not all of them were jacked up. Not all the battery doors. It was a small batch. So, ST, does your trickle go through juice? I can kill my tank in 9 pull. Damn. No, 9 pulls doesn't kill my tank. But it's consistent, just like any other tank. I don't feel like I'm adding constantly to it. But I don't know if I really just like chain vape off the thing like crazy. I vape on it, but I'm just not like sucking that joker dry that quick.
Oh, I saw Tom in chat. I know we were talking about him earlier. Speaking of Tom, Tom owes me a new printer. I was printing a shipping label to send him some stuff, and it broke my printer completely. So I got to actually go to the post office so I can have them make the label for it. But the package I'm sending Tom broke my printer.
Tom can just go in the law offices and take one of the printers from there and send it to you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I heard he's got it like that.
I thought you said he got laid off.
That was Mark that started that riot up.
Oh, okay.
Well, better reason to take it.
Mark started that rumor on my show. That's why you're probably attaching my name to it. But he did say that, I think it was Kmart or Walmart was hiring, and he got a job there. So,
Oh, he's going to be a greeter?
he's been working there for a while, to my knowledge.
Oh, that's awesome.
I heard he's. Well, I don't know about a greeter. I heard he was like a midnight stalker there or something like that.
Oh, okay. Congrats, Tom.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. Good old Tom.
Yeah,
my buddy. All
I
right,
heard he was thinking about getting one of those Mike Tyson face tattoos.
dude.
That's what I heard.
I think Walmart has a little tattoo shop, don't they?
They might.
He said, "Welcome to Walmart. I love you."
Hats, the sub count at what?
I think that's meant to be what.
Oh, he's got it. It's back up. It's matter of fact, it is 403. So it's about where it was supposed to be. Nobody will know any different. If he never watches this show, he'll never know what happened, other than he'll see a drastic drop and then a pick back up.
Yeah, and he ain't watching the show.
No. I seen him comment before the show went live, but I guess he's, again, the parade's probably going through, and while they're throwing like little candy out to the crowd, he's probably out there running around like a madman trying to pick it all up.
Mark has been on a live show on my YouTube channel and is not subscribed to my YouTube channel. He ain't watching the show.
Yeah. We are at 8:30. We got what we got? We got any questions out there? Anything?
We're giving y'all some overtime tonight.
Yeah, we are.
ST's going to have to pay me time and a half.
Yep. And then I'm gonna have to get a check over from Mark to cover all these bills.
Yep.
Any questions? Heavy's going into comatose area. A sub-ohm tank you guys think is a most buy? A sub-ohm tank you guys think is a most buy? Most buy what?
Must buy.
Okay. Misspelled. Back in the day, a couple of years ago, I could have told you, and I probably would have told you the free Max Star. I just don't deal with sub-ohm tanks anymore.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Somebody asked, what coils do you love in the Reload RTA? Just stainless steel fuse Claptons. That's all I've ever run in the Reload.
All I've ever ran of mine are stainless steel Aliens, but I haven't run it in a bit. Somebody was asking me, is your V-Boy solid? Yes, mine is solid. No issues with mine. How is the iJoy? Let me get back over here. How is the iJoy RDTA triple box mod? Don't have it. Don't know. ST, I love the Boston Cream too. Think you can talk Mike into one? Man, if anybody has talked to Mike about doing 120s, it's been me, and I
don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah,
maybe
I've tried.
100 mils.
I have tried
though. Josh Z says, "Have you remember the magical flying fox airflow for days?" Right? Yes. Airflow, all kinds of airflow on that one.
Good brand of spool of wire. Andrew, what would you think on there? Kidney puncher or?
I use Kidney Puncher almost exclusively now, but Lightning Vapes is good. Anarchist, I used to use a lot of Anarchist. Twisted Messes is good wire. Like I know Addie uses or used to use Crazy Wire a lot, but for the most part, I'm Kidney Puncher all the way.
You know, we did speak about this, and it just reframed my memory a little bit. Well, it's old. I don't even want to bring it up. Never mind. Somebody was saying something. Well, I was thinking of sub-ohm tanks a little bit. And like I said, I don't really have any. And even if I did, I wouldn't fool with them because I love RTA so much. But one that seemed fairly interesting, and I know Mark loved it a lot. And again, me and Mark's vaping styles are somewhat the same. He loved that Valerian from UL. Now, they never sent that one to me, but it sounds like a lot of the guys did enjoy that one right there. So, but as of like all the freaking smoke tanks and shit like that, I mean, there's just so damn many of them that come out. And to me, it just seems like most of those tanks are nothing but simply about massive clouds and high wattage now.
And they burn through so much juice. Like, it
Yes.
doesn't make sense to me. It burns through way too much juice.
Yep.
By the way, John, I got your email, and I'm sending that out to the appropriate person right now. So maybe we can get a reaction.
Someone asked what wire I use now. I think it's because Heavy said I used to use Crazy Wire. I only use Crazy Wire and Kidney Puncher. That's it. And I really only get stainless. From time to time, I'll get maybe some nichrome to do some thinner gauge nichrome to do wrap wire with and whatnot. But
so someone sent a photo to me that was edited a little bit, and I'll share it with you guys now. This is Mark's new sub count. If we can get a little bit of focus.
I've got you.
97,100.
oh, nice.
And that is with his current video from 3 days ago.
Oh, dude. Nice.
So I just sent him a text that said, "What the fuck happened?" with a picture of that attached to it.
He's gonna go check it and figure out that you're lying, and he'll never admit to this. But the panic that is gonna set in
Yep.
between now and him going over there is gonna be unrivaled.
Yeah.
How about Big Boy Comp Wire? Haven't used it. I've heard great things, but I haven't used it. I think they only do N90 though. They don't do stainless, but I'm not opposed to giving it a shot. I just haven't used it yet. So there you go.
I actually have some in my build box over here. I've got some 18 gauge, some 20 gauge, some 22, 24, and 26, and I like it pretty good. I mean, it's not for everybody because it ramps really quick.
Heavy know a site that will post the Dreamer to Australia. Where is Times Vape stuff being sold at?
I know. Who was that got the link in my video? It was was it Vapor DNA? No, it was Subtank Supply. So I would check Subtank Supply, see if they ship to Australia. If not, you can go to timesvape.com, and yeah, it may be one of those things where you have to get with a shop and have them pick some up. Because I mean, if they pick them up from China, I'm sure they'll ship them. But
yeah, if I were in Australia, I'd be trying to order them from China.
Yeah. Oh, that question never comes to an end, does it? Dropper iconic for the flavor.
dude, okay. So the thing is, those two are both. If you take for instance, the ones that we have talked, the major ones we've talked about tonight, the iconic, the drop, the rabbit, the aura, the Pulse 24, the Druga, the Cheetah 2, the Bonza, they all have really, really good flavor. I have not found an RDA that has bad flavor yet.
You know what it's almost coming down to, other than top or bottom airflow? It's almost coming down to, do you like the cosmetics to it or not?
Yep.
Because it just vapes good.
Yep. Cosmetics, build deck, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me a question. Let me find it.
I can't answer this one. Panel, icon or iconic? Iconic. Yeah.
I can't find the question now. Somebody asked me a question about stainless steel. Oh wait, here it is. Addy, is stainless steel the best flavor for single wire coils using 24 gig? I am probably the worst person to answer that question because I don't use it as just like a basic round wire build. I do at minimum use Claptons with it. I've used it a couple of times as a round wire build, and I remember that I wasn't disappointed, but it has been so long since I've done round wire with like Kanthal and Nichrome that honestly I can't remember, and so I can't compare them for you. But I don't think that you'll be disappointed. Best batteries for dual battery regulated mods, VTC 5As.
Yep.
I mean, VTC 5As are the best. You also can't go wrong with 25Rs.
Can say any thoughts? You know what? That is an RTA I need to get my hands on also, because that could be one that I actually enjoy if it doesn't leak.
I can't believe you had such a problem with the Kylan, man. Mine never leaked. Uh-oh. I got a text message back. So
there we go.
He said, nice Photoshop.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he'll never let you know, but he panicked.
Oh, gosh.
Addy, what can we expect as we go into 2018? I don't know. I'm not a mind reader or a psychic. Or
he said he scared me for a second there.
I could not tell you.
Now, some bad boy said that Kensei is dope as fuck. It very well could be. And the only reason why I made the little comment about the leaking thing, I've looked at it on a video, and it shares a few resembles of the Kylan, and seeing how they're both a Vandy Vape product. I haven't heard of any issues with it, but there was a lot of folks that had leaking Kylans, and Vandy Vape knew it, because when I told them mine was leaking, I said, I need you to send me a replacement deck. Well, by the time I got around to telling them I needed it, I guess they're no longer actually What?
He said, "You son of a bitch! I almost had a heart attack."
Oh gosh, I knew it.
Any experience flying with build tools in your carry-on bag? Do not do that. All of your vape stuff, batteries, devices, atomizers, those go in your carry-on bag. All of your build supplies, your wire, all of that stuff goes in your check bag. I mean, you can put it in your carry-on bag, but at minimum, it's going to get taken away from you. Worst case scenario, you're going to jail.
You know
I've
what?
done it both ways. Most of the time, I do carry on when I fly, and I've flown fairly decent amount the past 2 years. Few trips I actually did a check bag, and I did pack some of that stuff in there too. So I've done it both ways and never had any issues yet. But I'm not telling you to go do it. I'm just stating that's what's happened with me.
You can't. You can no longer check batteries and devices. They have to be in your carry-on.
No. You were saying build kits.
Well, okay, build tools. Scissors, you can't carry on. Wire cutters, you can't carry on.
Screwdrivers.
I would, I don't think you can carry on a screwdriver. Beyond that, I like coil rods and stuff. I don't know that it would be a problem, but to me, it's just not worth the risk. I take this right here. Let me show you this. So I take this. Oh,
Thank you, Tom.
The lid's not closed. So I take this when I travel, and I put all of my build supplies in here. My cotton, my wire, my tools, everything goes in this. And then all I do is put it in my checked bag at the bottom and put all my clothes on top of it. That way it's not on my clothes and like wrinkling them or anything, because it does get kind of heavy. I will do that. And then I have one of these I don't remember what they called these Coil Master bags, not the build kit bag, but the one with the elastic, the K bag, the one with the elastic bands in it. And that's where I put my mods and my atomizers and stuff. And that's what I put in my carry-on. But so I just don't risk putting any tools in my carry-on luggage, because I don't want it to be a problem. So, and then I put all my batteries and little things like this, and I put them in the little pocket in the K bag and just put them in there like that.
I do know this, and not that I was trying to get away with it, but I guess I managed to get away with it. The last time we were in Detroit, I think it was the last time or the time before. No, it was the time before we were in Detroit, not this past one, but before that. You're only supposed to be able to carry a certain amount of liquid in a carry-on. I managed to get a whole lot of e-juice in my carry-on without them saying anything, and I just knew they were going to pull some of that. But and it wasn't just like little 30 ml bottles. I had 100, 120 ml bottles in a big freezer bag, and I brought back a ton of it.
Dude, when me and Brittany left Detroit, I had a carry-on bag that was, I don't know, maybe it's as big as you could possibly put on an airplane. It was full from back to front, side to side, top to bottom with vape gear. There was probably 40 bottles of juice in there. Everything from 60s to 120s. This thing was fucking packed. There's no way in hell by any regulatory authority I should have been able to put that on an airplane. And it got flagged going through TSA. They pulled it off to the side, and the guy walks over and opens it up, and he goes, "Oh my God." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Dude, you can't carry all of this with you." I was like, "What the fuck? Why not?" And he closes it up. He moved a couple of things around, then closed it up and zipped it back. And he was like, "You're lucky I vape," and slid it back across the fucking thing to me. Wow. I was like, holy shit. Then
See,
as
that's
I'm
really
putting
hit and miss.
as I'm putting it back down on the ground, he was like, "I know how much money's in that bag. Just don't do it again, please."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hit and miss. Like when this most recent trip to Detroit, I know of a couple people that had juice taken from them at the airport because they couldn't bring it back. Technically, I think I want to say it's like 88 milliliters or something is 3 ounces. They're not supposed to be bigger than that, but I don't know that they're going to be able to tell the difference with like a 100 ml bottle. But that's a risk you're taking. When we came back from Detroit, when I went to Detroit, I had a Ziploc bag in my carry-on full of juice, and so the extra juice that I got, I could not put back in there, and I ended up putting it in my checked bag just because I didn't want to take a chance, and I still got molested at TSA in Detroit coming back because of all of the vape gear that I had in my checked bag, because I obviously took a bunch of mods with me and came back with more mods that I got at the expo, and I mean, it is what it is, but the liquid thing is hit and miss. You might get through just having bottles of e-liquid in there and nobody cares, but the risk you're taking is that you get the wrong person and they don't like it and they take it. Or even if you have it all in a Ziploc bag, they look at one of those bottles and say that's bigger than 3 ounces and they take it. And in that case, you're losing like a 120 of liquid. And so for me, it just wasn't worth it. And I just put it all in bags and stuffed it in my checked luggage and said, if it ends up leaking, it ends up leaking. I'm going home anyway. So
the question is, there's a limit for the carry-on luggage as far as liquids, right?
yes.
Yes.
So you should respect that.
Yeah.
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 So what's going on, Daniel? Sorry about that.
No,
I got my power back. Jesus.
You got your little crazy storm going on out there.
Yeah, really crazy.
What's up, you beautiful bastard?
What's up, bastard?
Well, Daniel, speaking of this little topic we're on, I mean, you're a perfect one to talk to about this because you travel a lot. Have you been hammered by TSA for anything that you've been toting around?
No.
You've done pretty good with everything?
Pretty good. Also, coming back with a lot of shit on my checked luggage, like a lot of liquid, a lot of mods, but respecting everything, like respecting the amount of liquid I can carry on my carry-on, taking the batteries with me in the cases and silicone sleeves and all that, but taking the batteries with me on my carry-on and only leaving the liquids and the mods without batteries on the checked luggage. I never had any problems at all. Well, I had once coming back, but that was customs here willing to charge me for all the stuff that supposedly I bought overseas. But
gotcha.
Nothing really related to the content or anything. They were just trying to charge me taxes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The problem that I had in Detroit, which I never had problem with vape gear before, they wouldn't give me a straight answer. I talked to 4 different TSA agents as to why I was having to go through all this and being treated this way, and all 4 of them gave me different answers as to why my stuff was flagged. And so when all of that happened, I just kind of like went along with it. But the lady that was like the nicest to me, she said that it was because there were so many boxes in my carry-on luggage because like Daniel gave me the Q class, the SX Mini Q class in the box. So I had the box. I bought a Dot Mod Mech Mod while I was there. That was in a box. The Dot Mod RDA, that was in a box. I bought the Me One. That was in a box. And I don't know, I had a couple other things. And some of the stuff that I had taken with me, I had in a box. And so they just said, you had so many boxes that we wanted to go through it. And I'm like, well, I get that. You want to go through it and you want to look and run it back through the machine. But that also doesn't mean that I need to be molested either, because that doesn't have anything to do with me. That has to do with my bag.
You got flagged probably because of your face, and they just didn't want to say nothing to you.
That's fair. Yeah. I do work really hard on having the look on my face that says, if you don't know me, don't talk to me, like at the grocery store and stuff. So
there's one thing that I do realize that may be true, and that may be because I was on the military, and because I know that's something that triggers authority, right? you being worried, having carrying a worried face, or being worried with something, or being disappointed or tired may trigger the authorities to actually look at you. If you go through TSA and security with a confident face and happy with your life and so on, you will go and pass by and they will never bother you. And that does definitely apply.
Yeah.
Yep. So what's been good been happening with you, Daniel?
Not a lot. I was like about 2 or 3 hours without power, so not a lot. I'm probably not gonna deliver the review I was supposed to deliver tomorrow, so that's bad. Yeah.
You got a question right off the bat. DJ LSP, what's the word on the Faro RTA Mini? Saw your review, but want to know if it's in the top RTA list.
It is actually, and I never thought I was gonna say that, especially because the Faro version 1 was like kind of okay. But the flavor on the Faro Mini definitely it is way better than the version 1. It is up there with my favorite single coil tanks as far as flavor.
Cool.
It is. Never gave me any problems. As a matter of fact, I was actually unscrewing from one mod and I was trying to find the next mod for the tank to go on because I'm still using the tank today, and with no jump cuts, no editing, nothing. You can see, let me actually turn on my studio lights. You can see it is dry, bone dry, working wonderfully well. Liquid flow control works fine. Everything works fine with this tank. Now, the major complaint I had with this tank was the airflow. It's turbulent. That's a major con. It may be a major con for many people. The fact that the airflow is turbulent is also a major con for me. The flavor is there. It's like I can live with the turbulence, I guess, and you can hear. The turbulence is definitely there as a con for me too. But as far as everything else, I can't complain, and I love the flavor on this thing.
Nice. How is the voting going? Good?
Crazy. I didn't realize what I was going or what I was getting into, right? Fixing all the mismatched names and duplicates, and oh my god.
Yeah, it's probably turned into a little bit of a mess now, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I've been trying to remove the duplicates and join the duplicates together, and at least I know that I'm running a honest poll, right?
Definitely.
Without a company jumping to the top #1 in less than 24 hours with 900 votes. The fuck?
Yeah, that did seem a little off the charts there.
Right. Was like less than 24 hours. I refreshed the page to see the results, and I was like, fuck. How the heck? And then not even that, but then you go on such company, I'm not gonna mention any names, but you go on such companies' Facebook, and there's not even activity that does justify that number of votes on them, right? Them asking for votes. The Facebook group doesn't even have such activity to justify those votes. And if you do a quick search, you can actually search for a website traffic, right? You can go on Google and search something like website traffic, and then find a website to check the traffic of another website. And if you check such company's website, they didn't even have that traffic in those 24 hours to justify them asking people to go vote for them in less than 24 hours. So nothing really matches on that situation. And I said, fuck it, I'm gonna run my own poll. I spent pretty much one day trying to find the best plugin that I can't touch. Once it's launched, it's launched, and I launched it, and that's it.
Yeah, there was definitely seemed to be some bogus shit going on with that other site, but it is what it is. It's a free world. I guess you can do what you want, but
right. People believe on what they want.
That's right. Well, we've actually hit that 2-hour mark, and I believe we are going to be fashionably leaving at the same time. So, Daniel, sorry about your power outage.
No problem.
But Yep. We are
Oh,
going to get out of it. Go ahead, say.
Since I was talking about the Pharaoh, I almost forgot the fact that even though it's cute, I still prefer the Zeus to the Pharaoh. That's with no doubt. Like the Zeus, hands down, to the Pharaoh.
Yeah, and you just did a pretty interesting MTL video too. That's
took me 3 days editing that one.
Yeah. So you don't even have to be a mountain longer to go over there and appreciate that one. So, but all right, we're gonna get out of here unless y'all got anything else to say. Addie, Heavy's gone behind the camera again. So anyway, thanks for joining us this evening. I guess we will see you back on the regular side of things next week. Well, actually, Mark doesn't know this, but he will if he watches the end of this. I will not be on there next week. I have actually got prior engagements I've got going next Sunday evening, so I will not be there. So a lot of people will probably be happy about that. But appreciate y'all joining us tonight. It's been a great show. So with that being said, thanks for the panel showing up this evening. Heavy, you got anything before we roll out?
Nope. I was about to have to beat the hell out of my daughter because she's beating on the fucking door like she's a goddamn police.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just not used to hearing loud banging in my house.
I got you.
So,
all right.
No, I'm good. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, we're out.
Everybody be good to each other.
Y'all have a good one. We will see y'all later.